That day, I found something disgusting in my car. I quickly remembered that my boyfriend, Ethan, had borrowed it the night before, returning very late. I was driving to the airport to pick up Ethan's mother. Ethan and I were college classmates. 2 months prior, drunk in the middle of the night, he'd called me, asking, "Can I crash at your place?" He'd broken up with Olivia, his live-in girlfriend, and had been kicked out. I owned a small 2-bedroom apartment in Shenzhen, perfect for him to stay in until he found a new place. I said yes, thinking, just a temporary stay. I'd had a crush on him for 6 years. We became roommates and, inevitably, the close proximity led to a romantic relationship. It felt natural, almost meant to be. Then, his mother unexpectedly announced her visit to Shenzhen. Ethan was busy, so I risked the wrath of my demanding client to pick her up. As soon as she saw me, she smiled and asked, "You must be Olivia?" I froze. Olivia was Ethan's ex-girlfriend. "I'm Amelia," I corrected, "Amelia Zhang." "Oh," she mumbled, "I thought Olivia was picking me up. Isn't she Ethan's girlfriend?" Ethan had warned me he hadn't told his mother about us. "She'll start pressuring us to get married," he'd said. "Let's wait until things are more stable." So, I simply replied, they were together in college. "Olivia's very pretty, isn't she?" his mother continued. "Yes, she's beautiful. Do you have a picture of her?" I pulled up Olivia's social media profile and handed my phone to her. "Wow, she looks like a movie star," she exclaimed. "Someone like that is a good match for my son." She continued to admire Olivia's glamorous photos. I started to zone out. Olivia had always been the campus beauty queen, attracting admirers everywhere she went. Compared to her, my only advantage was how much I loved Ethan. I cooked for him, bought him gaming headphones, and immediately offered my apartment when he mentioned his mother's visit. "And don't tell my mom this is your apartment," Ethan had reminded me. "Why?" "I don't want her to know I'm living at someone else's place without paying rent." He'd smiled, a smile that I adored. But the words "someone else's" felt like a punch to the gut. "Don't worry," I'd replied, forcing a smile. "Amelia, is this from the front of the car?" His mother's voice snapped me back to reality. In the rearview mirror, I saw her holding a small, thumb-sized rubber ducky. How did that get in my car? I hadn't bought it, and only my colleagues had ever been in my car. They wouldn't leave something like that behind. Then it hit me. Ethan had driven my car last night. He'd said he was going out with friends and came back very late. This had to be his. His and someone else's. A wave of nausea washed over me. I struggled to breathe. Thankfully, the road was clear. I steadied myself, gingerly picked up the ducky with 2 fingers, and placed it on the dashboard. I avoided touching the steering wheel with those fingers again. I'd noticed a faint, sticky smell when I got into the car this morning, but it had been mostly masked by the scent of the fresh daisies I kept in the car. I'd dismissed it as humidity. Now I understood. But Ethan was with me now, wasn't he? I pushed the thought aside. I couldn't afford to panic while driving. When we parked, Ethan's mother returned my phone. My eyes immediately fell on Olivia's latest post. It was a picture of 2 hands clasped together. One wrist wore the Cartier watch I had given Ethan last week. I'd thought our relationship was finally blossoming. After his breakup, Ethan had been listless. One weekend, feigning stress from work, I suggested a road trip to the coast. He'd perked up by the sea, diving into the waves and then resurfacing to wave at me. I was too cold to join him. He splashed back to shore, scooped me up, and carried me into the water. The water was cold, but everywhere his skin touched mine was warm. He'd asked me if I'd ever kissed underwater. I shook my head. "Take a breath," he'd instructed, pulling me under. He kissed me, the kiss salty and soft. That night, he knocked on my hotel room door, wearing his bathrobe. "So, are we officially together now?" I'd asked. "Isn't that just a matter of saying it?" He'd replied. "I want to hear you say it." He hesitated. "Let me think about it, okay?" He leaned in to kiss me, but I kept my lips firmly closed. He held me close, but at least it wouldn't be a real kiss. Fine, we're together," he finally relented. "If you're that reluctant," I started to say, but inside, I was ecstatic. "I'm not reluctant," his voice suddenly softened. "I really am starting to like you." He leaned in again, and I closed my eyes. It was the happiest moment of my life. So happy, in fact, that I didn't question his sincerity. "I'm working late tonight. Can you look after my mom?" Ethan texted. I had so many questions, but he hung up when I called. I tried to convince myself that the rubber ducky wasn't Ethan's, that the photo had nothing to do with him. But I couldn't fool myself. I fought back tears, Ethan's mother oblivious to my turmoil. I dug my nails into my palms, trying to endure. Tonight, I thought, tonight I'll get answers. I wasn't curious if he was back with Olivia. I wanted to know what I meant to him after all these years. What am I to him? I showed his mother around my apartment. This is so small, she remarked. Back home, a 2-bedroom is at least 90 square meters. This is barely 70. It's 65, actually, I corrected. Rent's expensive in Shenzhen, so apartments are smaller. She pointed to the 2nd bedroom. So I'll sleep in there? That's my room, I said, smiling tightly. Oh! She looked me up and down. You and my son are living together? Yes, we're roommates. The master bedroom has its own bathroom, so it's not a problem. How is it not a problem? You share the washing machine, the living room, the kitchen. The two of you, a man and a woman, alone. How can it not be a problem? Her tone was light, but laced with innuendo. Besides, does Olivia know you're living with Ethan? I don't think so, I mumbled. Well, if she did, wouldn't that be a problem? I wanted to scream that this apartment, small as it was mine, bought with my hard-earned money. That her son was merely borrowing a room, rent-free, while I struggled with the mortgage payments. That I was his girlfriend now. But then I remembered. I had invited Ethan. I had invited his mother. I had promised to protect his pride in front of her, to avoid causing him any trouble. This was my own doing. Ethan's working late. Let me help you settle in, and then I'll take you out for dinner. She sighed and nodded, finally dropping the subject. I took her to one of Ethan's favorite restaurants. I never imagined I'd find him there, sitting with Olivia, just a few tables away. I wanted to drag his mother out of there. He was the one lying, the one with his ex. But I was the one consumed by shame, desperate to escape. But his mother had already spotted him. She rushed over, not questioning his absence at the airport, but instead asking, "This young lady must be Olivia, then?" Olivia stood up. "Hello." Such a lovely girl. Ethan's mother beamed, taking Olivia's hand. "Perfect for my son." She turned to me. "Why didn't you tell me Ethan was here?" I was still reeling from the shock of seeing them together, speechless. Then Olivia spoke. "We wanted to surprise you." She intertwined her fingers with Ethan's, her eyes fixed on me. I lasted 15 minutes at that dinner before making an excuse to leave. I downed 3 glasses of wine. As soon as I stepped outside, tears started streaming down my face. My phone rang. Hopelessly, pathetically, I hoped it was Ethan. It was my client, Liam, the director of a major corporation. He was notoriously demanding and perpetually stone-faced. I composed myself and answered. As always, he was concise, emotionless, and assertive. "Redo it." "Liam, the proposal was rushed, but my team. I need it tonight. But it's already 7. Then don't bother." I froze. Then, fueled by the wine, a surge of anger coursed through me. "Fine. Don't bother," I yelled, startling passers-by. "Everyone can just get fired. Just get the hell fired." I slammed the phone shut and instantly regretted it. The outburst had felt good, a rare display of defiance. But why Liam? Liam, the director of a publicly traded company, our wealthiest client. And, admittedly, the most attractive client I'd ever worked with. Great. In one evening, I'd lost my boyfriend and my biggest account. Lost in self-reproach, I walked home, skipping the taxi. And there, at the entrance to my building, was Liam. His car was blocking the driveway. I took a few deep breaths before approaching him. "Liam? What a coincidence, haha. The proposal. Right, I've already told my team to get on it. We'll have it to you by 10. And about earlier. I'd had a bit to drink, so." He held out a large bouquet of daisies. For me?" I stammered. It's a corporate gift for our partners. I was passing by, so I thought I'd drop it off." He sounded flustered. "How did your company know I like daisies?" He shrugged, offering no explanation. "Well, thank you." I took the flowers. "Would you like to come up?" "I'd like that." How forward, I thought, but he turned back to his car and retrieved a beautifully packaged bottle of liquor. "I brought this really good whiskey, but can you even handle more alcohol?" He was acting strangely. But I didn't dislike him. And I definitely wanted another drink. So the flowers were just an excuse? You came here to drink with me? Yes, he admitted. Then come on up, I said. My boyfriend's not home. Oh, ex-boyfriend. The whiskey was good. Too good. I got drunk. And very talkative. Wine and whiskey, apparently a recipe for disaster. So do you know what your problem is? I slurred, downing half a glass of whiskey. Enlighten me. You're too cold. You always look like you hate the world. If you weren't so aloof, you wouldn't still be single. Amelia, you're drunk. I am not. Mind your business. My boyfriend and his ex, they did that in my car. Amelia, you really shouldn't have any more. They did it. I found evidence. Come on, put the glass down. And I had to pick up his mother. And she complained about my apartment. They're all terrible. Sure, it's okay, Amelia. So what am I, Liam? What am I? Hey, that's my drink. I'm hick. I don't want him anymore. I don't want him. Okay. Liam, I'm being honest with you. Amelia Zhong, don't want him anymore. I vaguely remember hearing a car engine turning off. Then, nothing. The next morning, my assistant woke me with a frantic call. Did you get drunk last night? How did you know? Liam told me. Liam who? He said the proposal was approved and told me to thank you. Something definitely happened between you two last night. Nothing happened. I protested, my mind suddenly racing. Liam? I wish something happened. I'm busy, gotta go. The boss is amazing, bye. I immediately messaged Liam. I hope I didn't do anything embarrassing last night. You wouldn't believe it, he replied. You're quite the firecracker. Me? A firecracker? What did that even mean? You're going to have to be more specific. He sent a thinking emoji. Did you black out? Then I remembered. I had yelled at Ethan. Really yelled at him. And I'd kicked him and his mother out of my apartment. They had returned while I was still drunk, and Liam had answered the door. Ethan's mother, seeing him, had sneered. Oh, you have a boyfriend? Liam, taken aback, stammered, you've got it wrong. You two always drink here in the middle of the night? What if you wake up Ethan? This is my first time here, Liam explained patiently. And how many more times are you planning to come? I'm warning you. This is a shared apartment. Don't treat the living room like it's your own. I apologize. I'll be leaving soon. He started to gather his things. But I stumbled to the door and grabbed his arm. Where do you think you're going? I looked at Ethan and his mother. You're staying here tonight. Ethan's mother gasped. You two are going to sleep together? In this apartment? Fine. Then you and Ethan can't stay here tonight. I slung my arm around Liam. Ethan, meet my boyfriend, Liam. Liam, this is my ex-boyfriend, Ethan. Ethan's mother was stunned. What is the meaning of this? Ask your son, I said. But right now, what I mean is, you two can't stay in my apartment anymore. What gives you the right? The fact that this is my apartment. Yours? Yes, mine. Ethan got dumped by Olivia 2 months ago and couldn't even afford a hotel room. If it wasn't for me, he'd be sleeping on the streets. Ethan's mother looked bewildered. Ethan, you told me. Ask him, I laughed. He told you he makes tens of thousands of you on a month? He got fired. He borrows money from me every month. He told you he spends his nights reading and working on his startup? He plays video games until dawn. He told you he's thriving in Shenzhen with friends everywhere? I'm his only friend. I'm the only one who puts up with his laziness and his poverty, and this is how he repays me. Amelia, Ethan shouted. Don't you, Amelia, me. I yelled back. Amelia Zhong. He grabbed my arm, his fingers digging into my skin. Stop it, he hissed. For a moment, I was genuinely afraid. Then, a sharp crack. Slap. Liam had struck Ethan's hand away, stepping between us. He towered over Ethan. Thinking of hitting a woman? No, Ethan started to explain. Amelia said you can't stay here tonight. Didn't you hear her? Liam's voice was quiet, but firm. Ethan fell silent. But my luggage is still inside. Ethan's mother shrieked. Liam calmly retrieved her suitcase and thrust it into Ethan's arms. You can get your things tomorrow. You leave. Now. Ethan's mother continued to fuss outside after they left, but Ethan seemed to pull her away. Once they were gone, Liam returned to the sofa. Are you all right? His concern broke the last of my composure. I'm all right? I'm the one kicking people out. I should be fine. I sank onto the sofa and started picking at the takeout I had ordered earlier. I was drinking, I mumbled. I didn't eat anything. I felt a sudden urge to apologize. I'm so sorry, Liam. Your first time at my place and you have to witness this. I forced a smile. Don't just stand there, eat. I'm almost done. Don't judge, it's from a local place, but it's really good. I stuffed my face, trying to block out the memories of Ethan and Olivia's on-again, off-again relationship, of years of silently following Ethan's life online, of my instantly answered calls and texts, of the hopes I'd harbored these past 2 months. What am I? I thought. What have I been all these years? The food, usually savory, tasted bland. But I kept eating, shoveling it in, because the tears were welling up again. He doesn't deserve you, Liam said softly, almost a whisper. But his words felt like a knife twisting in my chest. I stared at him, paralyzed by a sudden, hollow ache. He repeated himself, his voice gentle. You didn't do anything wrong. He doesn't deserve you. The food in my mouth became a choking hazard. Tears were streaming down my face. Finally, I let myself cry. I sobbed, releasing years of pent-up frustration, hurt, and humiliation. After that day, Ethan vanished from my life. I deliberately kept Liam at arm's length too. All work correspondence went through my team, and, even at important meetings, I avoided any direct interaction with him. Until one day, in the break room at his company, I straightened up with a cup of coffee and found him standing beside me. We exchanged a silent look. After a few seconds, he smiled. I nodded, managing a polite, "Your coffee is excellent." "Would you like to have dinner tonight?" he asked. My heart lurched. I already have plans, I lied. He paused. Adults knew not to push with a "how about tomorrow?" The day after. Plans was a universal code for no. I hurried away, retreating into myself. I buried myself in work, taking on new clients and projects. Because the moment I stopped, the moment I was alone in my apartment, the sadness would creep in. Not a sharp pain, but a dull, pervasive ache. It wasn't about Ethan. It was regret, the realization of wasted years. I had a feeling Liam could pull me out of this darkness. But I resisted. What if he was just another Ethan? Sadness and loneliness felt safer than the risk of another heartbreak. That night, I did have plans. My former boss, Richard, was having a divorce party. Richard, a wealthy man in his 30s, had a circle of successful friends and insisted I attend. A celebration of single life reborn, he'd called it. Oddly, the 8 other guests were all couples. So, during the bar games, I was paired with Richard. As the night progressed, he started drinking from my glass, pressing close, even hugging me when we won. I excused myself to the restroom, plotting an early escape. Instinctively, I opened WeChat. The first person I subconsciously wanted to contact was Liam. I called him. He answered immediately but didn't speak. "What are you doing?" I asked, trying to sound normal. "You've been drinking." He saw right through me. "Yes." "With a client?" "My former boss." "Former boss? Is he hitting on you?" "No, of course not." I was surprised by how quickly I denied it. Later, I realized it was that small, insidious desire not to disappoint him. "Don't worry, I can handle my liquor," I added, trying to sound unconcerned. "I'll come get you." He knew what the call really meant. A late-night call from a woman to a man. It was a cry for help. "No, it's fine," I said, automatically rejecting the offer, knowing he'd ignore it. "Just tell me where you are." Our voices were carefully neutral, but we both understood the unspoken subtext. This was a turning point. "Okay, I'll send you my location." As I hung up, ready to send the location, Richard grabbed my hand. "Amelia, there you are. Where have you been? Let's get back to the party." He glanced at my phone screen. "Who's this? Your new boyfriend?" "He's not my boyfriend." Good. He still hadn't returned my phone. I tried to grab it, but he was too tall. He held it out of reach. "Amelia, you know I like you, right?" I froze. "Richard, are you serious?" "Of course I am. This whole party, it was for you." I forced a laugh. "Richard, this isn't funny." "Amelia, I'm single now. I can pursue my own happiness. Actually, when you worked for me, I always..." I cut him off. "Richard, you're drunk." "I'm not drunk." "Amelia, listen to me. If you're with me, you won't have to work. You can just be a housewife, live in any of my apartments. Richard. I raised my voice. He finally stopped talking. I understand, but let's talk about this tomorrow, okay? I plastered a smile on my face. This is a lot to take in. I held out my hand. Can I have my phone back, please? He stared at me for a long moment. You're playing hard to get? Think you're too good for me. His sudden shift in tone disgusted me. Give me my phone. Kiss me, and you'll get it back. I sighed. Keep it. I turned to leave, but he grabbed my wrist and pulled me into his arms. He tried to kiss me. The smell of alcohol, cigarettes, and his stubble filled my nostrils. I pushed him away, but he was too strong. I was about to scream when I heard Richard yell. Liam was standing behind him. He had Richard by the ear, his long arms swinging him around and throwing him against the wall. Richard stumbled, then crashed to the floor. He scrambled to his feet. Who the hell are you? He roared, lunging at Liam with a raised fist. Slap. The sound echoed through the hallway. Richard froze, clutching his cheek. Liam calmly retrieved my phone from Richard's hand and returned it to me. Richard, surprisingly subdued, just crouched against the wall, whimpering. That was disgusting, I exclaimed, wiping my mouth. So gross. Richard, my former boss? He hit on me when I worked there. I rejected him. I can't believe he pulled that stunt. I rambled as Liam drove. So, are you angry? He finally asked. I hadn't realized he'd been silent. Are you? He didn't answer. Hey, Liam. Don't be like that. He slammed on the brakes. Don't be like what? Don't be mad. You're out drinking with a bunch of strangers in the middle of the night. Some middle-aged creep steals your phone and tries to force himself on you, and I'm not supposed to be mad. What if I hadn't shown up? He could have drugged you, taken you to a hotel. You'd regret it for the rest of your life. And you're telling me not to be mad. Hey, I'm upset, too. I'm the victim here. I started to argue, but his expression made me laugh. What's so funny? Liam, when did you become so talkative? He blushed, unable to answer. Emboldened by the alcohol, I leaned closer, my voice soft. Liam, you like me, don't you? Yes, he admitted. Wow, straight to the point. So, Amelia, wanna be my girlfriend? Well, I'll have to think about it. Hey, why are you driving so fast? We're almost at my place. Tonight, he said, you're coming to mine. Liam's apartment was beautiful. Floor-to-ceiling windows with a city view, a plush cashmere rug, a high-end sound system playing smooth jazz, and warm, inviting lighting. He looked relaxed and comfortable in the setting, his damp hair and the outline of his chest visible beneath his bathrobe. I suddenly thought of a Greek statue I'd seen once in the Hermitage Museum, a man turning to leave, a woman hesitating. Two unrelated sculptures placed on opposite sides of a corridor, but in my mind, they shared a story. I giggled. What's so funny? He asked. Just thinking about something artistic. Forget about it. Go take a shower. I'll sober up. Then I won't dare do anything. I stepped closer, removing my jacket and letting it fall around my hips, imagining myself as that Greek statue. I stood on tiptoe and kissed him. His arms wrapped around me. His heart beat fast, but his touch was gentle, his embrace warm. He stroked my hair, soothing me like a wounded animal. I won't let you get hurt again, he seemed to be saying. This, I thought, is what safety feels like. The feeling of security I had never experienced in a relationship. The next morning, our companies had a joint meeting. Liam drove me. I wondered if we should maintain a professional distance at his office. But as we stepped out of the car in the parking garage, he took my hand. My heart swelled. I gently pulled away. Liam, let's not be too obvious. Why not? Let's be discreet. I still want to keep your company's business. He took my hand again. We can let go when we get inside. We started dating regularly. We watched horror movies in private theaters. He was too embarrassed to close his eyes, so he'd narrate the film to avoid looking. You're talking so much, you must be scared, I teased. No way, he insisted. Just then, a jump scare flashed on the screen. He didn't flinch, his eyes glued to the screen, but he crushed the soda can in his hand. Another time, we had ginseng chicken soup. The restaurant recommended 2 varieties, and he insisted on ordering both. We were so full we could barely breathe. That day, I discovered his hidden mischievous streak. He started telling jokes. Terrible jokes. But I couldn't stop laughing, which only made my stomach hurt more. He laughed along with me, and I playfully hit him. He ran, then doubled over in pain, still laughing. We were trapped in a cycle of laughter, stomach aches, and playful punches. We took another road trip to the coast. The same coast I had visited with Ethan. Liam didn't carry me into the waves or kiss me underwater. He'd reserved a secluded stretch of beach, and we sat in lounge chairs, watching the sunset. As the last sliver of red disappeared below the horizon, he asked, "You've been here before, haven't you?" "Yes." He smiled. I knew it. I started to explain that I wasn't here because of Ethan, but he stopped me. "You don't have to explain. I don't want to erase your memories with my own romantic gestures." The waves whispered, the sea breeze cool against my skin. "Amelia, I just want you to know that being with me might be pretty good too." His eyes shone like evening stars. Our lips met. Then my phone rang. He sat back as I answered, annoyed. It was Ethan. "Not home?" he asked. "Where I am is none of your business." "Oh, you're with that Liam guy, aren't you? You don't get to ask me that." He laughed. "Olivia and I broke up. I ended it." His voice suddenly became firm. "I want to start over with you." His voice cracked. "Let's start over. Please, I'm begging you." "But, it's over. Please, Amelia, give me another chance. I'm begging you." I hung up and blocked his number. Liam was looking at me quizzically. "There's this great seafood place," I said, changing the subject. "Wanna go?" He smiled. "Sure." The delicious food and Liam's terrible jokes helped me forget about the call. But the next day, when I returned to my apartment, Ethan was waiting for me. He looked haggard. "Amelia, I finally found you." He held out a knife. I instinctively backed away, but I quickly realized he wasn't going to hurt me. He pressed the blade against his wrist. "Amelia, I'm truly sorry." "I understand now. You're the one who truly loves me." He trembled, the blade wobbling dangerously. "Ethan, put the knife down. Let's talk. Tell me you'll take me back." He pressed the knife harder, drawing blood. "Ethan, if you don't agree, I'll die right here, on your doorstep." He raised the knife higher, preparing to slash his wrist. I lunged forward, grabbing his hand. "Ethan." All my fear transformed into anger. "If you want to die, go die somewhere else." He froze, slowly turning his head towards me. His eyes were bloodshot. "You really want me to die?" A twisted smile spread across his face. "You've moved on so quickly you don't even care if I live or die. You bitch." He jerked his hand upwards. The knife sliced through the air, past my hands, and across my face. A searing pain bloomed on my cheek. I touched my face. Wet, warm blood. My hand was crimson. The glass of the fire extinguisher case in the hallway reflected my image. My face, slashed by a bloody gash. I screamed. Ethan dropped the knife and ran. My memories of what followed are fragmented. The wail of an ambulance, the fluorescent lights of the hospital corridor blurring above me, the drowsy pull of medication. Then a dream. A swirling mist. A slim but strong hand reached out, pulling me. "Amelia, let's go," a gentle voice said. "I'll take you out of here." The mist cleared, revealing Liam's familiar face and form. I recoiled, pushing him away. I didn't want him to see me. Not like this. I woke up to find Liam by my bedside. He jumped up when he saw my eyes open, asking if I was thirsty, hungry, in pain. I didn't answer, and he ran out into the hallway, frantically calling for a doctor. He stayed at my apartment for days, cooking, cleaning, peeling fruit. He held my hand, speaking softly. He told me Ethan had been arrested. He'd confessed to arguing with Olivia, going to a bar, and taking drugs with his friends, which led to his violent outburst. He assured me that my company was fine, that my assistant was handling everything, and that he was helping out when he could. He told me he'd found a good plastic surgeon who could minimize the scar. But the words he repeated most often were, "I'm sorry, Amelia. I should have protected you." But no matter what, he'd add, "I like you. I like you very, very much." I didn't speak to him for a week. Then, one sunny afternoon, I finally said, "Let's break up." He laughed. "You're talking again." "Liam, I'm breaking up with you." "And then what?" I didn't know how to answer. His voice was calm, almost as if my declaration was just a lover's quarrel. "Why bother, Liam? I'm ordinary. I'm not that smart. And I'm not beautiful anymore. I wanted to say disfigured, but the word choked me. But I like you, he said simply. Enough. I snapped. Do you think this is a game, Liam? I didn't understand my own anger. I just wanted him gone. What good is it if you like me? I don't like you. Can't you see that? Liam looked hurt, opening his mouth to speak, then closing it again. I couldn't bear to look at him. Leave, I said, turning away. Just go. I didn't see Liam again. A month later, the bandages came off. The wound had healed well, but the scar, a thin pink line from the corner of my mouth to my eye, was still visible. I bought scarves, masks, and sunglasses. With these disguises, my life seemed to return to normal. Or perhaps it would never be normal again. 6 months later, I decided to go through old photos on my phone. I could finally look at my past self without flinching. Then I found a video. It was from the night I'd kicked Ethan and his mother out. The angle was low, clearly taken secretly. Liam had been filming the whole argument on my phone without me knowing. What a strange man, I thought, watching the video with a strange fascination. After the argument, the phone had been placed on the table, still recording, capturing the ceiling and our conversation. A conversation I'd never fully remembered due to the alcohol. My voice, thick with tears, asked, "What have I been all these years?" "He doesn't deserve you," Liam's voice replied. "You didn't do anything wrong. He doesn't deserve you." Then, my own slurred voice asked, "Then who does?" And Liam's voice, soft and low, replied, "How about me?